Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Dan Greer with Leading from the Middle of the Pack, and today we're here to talk all about, I don't know, what should we talk about? Let's talk about, marketing. How does that sound? How does leading and marketing go together, and, how does it all work? So, I've been super digging into, marketing, and I'm really excited about it. I've got this meeting today we're going to go to that's, really awesome. So, let's jump into marketing. Let's talk all about it, and we'll be back right after we cue up the intro. See you guys soon.
The big question is this: how are leaders, like us, who aren't necessarily in a management position, who go out and get our hands dirty, who are ready to answer their calling from God to lead, who are driven to learn and grow, gain the trust and respect of those around us, to actually be heard while not coming across as an authoritative prick? These are the questions, and this is the podcast that will give you the answers. Hi, my name is Dan Greer, and welcome to Leading from the Middle of the Pack.
Awesome! So glad you guys are still here. Well, today we're going to be talking about marketing and leadership and how they go together and why it's so important that we have them. So first off, I'm going to take a step back just so I'm a little bit away from the camera, just so you guys can see me. If you're on the podcast, you should totally check out our online version of this that's happening. It's getting launched the exact same time the podcast is. They're all happening side by side, so it's super awesome. Anyways, let's talk a little bit about marketing. What is marketing and what is the point of leadership and marketing together? So whenever I first started digging into this, I was like, marketing is just how you sell stuff. That's all it is. It's just selling stuff, right? Well, no, marketing is not how you sell stuff. Marketing is actually how you serve your tribe. And leadership is how you serve your tribe. It's how you serve your people. It's how you serve everybody. And so just want to take a second and put those together, right? It's not about making money. It's not about becoming the best leader in the world. It's not about being something different. It's about how you serve others. That's what everything in this life is about. That's what everything is literally about, is how you serve others. Because guess what? If you're serving others, then you're succeeding. You're winning. It's all about service. And if you have that servant mentality, no matter what you do, you're going to win. So one of the things that I've been doing is I've been thinking a lot about marketing. And I've been thinking about how do you be a leader in marketing? And how do you be a good leader and be good at marketing and be good at running a business and be good at dealing with customers and be good at all this other stuff? And so part of what I think about whenever I combine the two of them is it's like I just said, it's service. It's serving other people. And so if I'm serving my tribe, I'm serving my employees. So that makes me a good leader. I'm serving my team, right? The people that I work around. If I'm serving them and treating them right and making them love, not making them, that's not the right verbiage, helping them love what they do and helping them love their life and helping them grow, then they're going to be happier as well, right? And they're going to bring more to our customers, which is serving our customers, okay? And so it's all about service. Marketing is all about service, right? Leadership is all about service. And so those two really combine together to be marketing and leadership is all about service. Both of them are all about service. Life is all about serving others. That's what it's all about. That's what we're here for, is to serve others. And by serving others, then we serve ourselves. And it's the exact same way. Think about marketing. So oh man, here's a good one. Okay. It's we totally just built these. These aren't even out yet. They're freaking awesome. But when we built these, we were okay, so everybody and their dog's got a journal, right? Everybody's got a notebook. Everybody has some kind of notebook, okay? And so it was what can we do that makes ours stand out? Not only can we give it a freaking awesome cover, okay? And we can make it hard, right? But we could actually add more to it. So we could come in and we could be boom, okay. So the first 3 or 4 pages are going to be all about certain things, right? And so then we've got dude, check out this page. This page right here is all about bridge law and DOT numbers and everything looks like that. And then we've got another page in here that's oh, wait, that one's actually on bridge law. This one's dude, do I need a DOT number? Do I need a CDL? And then on top of that, we're oh, man, dude, okay, am I a commercial driver? And then it's this one's do I need a post-accident drug test? There's a million. So we did pages and pages of information. Then we get hazmat, breakaway. But then to top it all off, this is one of my favorite parts of this journal. It's so cool. Every page has an inspirational quote on it. So this one says, This one's from Malcolm Walker. It says, "Don't sit down and wait for opportunities to come. Get up and make them." So like every page, every time you open it, you're gonna see a quote, right? The only way to get started is to quit talking and begin. Walt Disney, right? So we figured out how we could serve our people when we built this, okay? And then in the back, like this is my other favorite part. We did like a bunch of goals and stuff like that, and then we're adding a page in here that's called our Docs manifesto, and you guys are gonna want this manifesto. It's all about like what a doc is, and if you're a doc, it's gonna be awesome. So, anyways, I just want to like say when you're thinking about stuff, like when you're thinking about what can I do to be good at marketing, don't think about like anything other than what can my team use. What did I need 5 years ago? Leadership is the exact same thing. When you're trying to be a great leader, if you've risen to kind of like the top of it, right? So like let's say that, I'm not saying you're at the top because nobody's ever at the top, right? But like let's say that you've risen above where you used to be in leadership roles. Think about what you needed when you were at that stage below that. What do I need that would have helped me? What do I need that would have made a big difference? That's exactly why we built this. I was like, oh my gosh, nobody has anything like this out there in the world at all. And guess what? Like, we're giving these away. All you gotta do is come to one of our live events. You're gonna get a journal like this. Like, I literally just ordered 1,000 of these. Now, I'm not saying we're gonna give them away like right now. If you see this before the next live event, we may not have them in our hands yet because stuff like this takes a while to build, right? It takes a while to get here. But that's what we're doing. We're like, here, boom. You need to take notes. Here's this. Here's a pin. Right? We're looking for their needs and we're filling them. That's what we're doing as leaders in the marketing industry. We're not trying to like predict what they want. We're not trying to sell them what we want to sell them. What we're trying to do is serve our customers. We're trying to serve our peoples. Oh my gosh, I can't even talk today. We're trying to serve our people, right? And it's like, what could I have used 5 years ago? That's why we built Docs, the software. Whenever we got into that, it was like, what is going to make my life simpler? Like, it sounds really, really selfish, but I'm managing, like, literally we manage, like, I don't know, 1,000 drivers right now, a little over 1,000 drivers. We have 300 companies, and everybody has split roles. Like, nobody just manages drivers, and we have, like, 3 people that are managing, that they're, like, handling all of that, period, for over 300 companies, right? And you know how long it takes them? Not very long. And our companies are constantly growing in compliance. Like, we get a company and they'll be at 0% compliance, and within like 60 days they'll be at 100% compliance, which is crazy, right? We built a tool that made it easier. That's what marketing is. It's building a tool that makes it easier. And then here's the key. Like, that's how you build a product, right? Then the way you market it is you go, how do we alleviate the pain points that our customers currently have? All right? Leadership is no different. How do I alleviate the pain points that my team has? How do I change the pain points that they have? How do I make things easier? How do I simplify their life? So I want to like pause for just a second, and I want you to think about this, okay? If your whole purpose, if you devoted a half a day a week to making everybody else's life easier, to being 100% selfless, I'm not talking like you go out and you do their job for them. I'm saying like you sit down, you brainstorm with each one of them for 20 minutes on what we can do to make life easier, on helping them prioritize what needs to be done, right? That way you guys are all on the same page. Do you think that'll make a difference as a leader? You bet it will, right? Like one of the biggest things that I've learned, one of the biggest things that I've figured out is that if I help my team as a leader, like if I come in and I go, okay, what can I do to make your life easier? What happens if you're gone? How do we catch up? What happens if this happens? What happens if we're here? What happens if this? How do we do this? What do we do? Right? Like if we start brainstorming collaboratively together as to how to make it better, then what happens? It gets better, right? It gets 100% better because we're working together. We're serving each other. We're not just serving ourselves, because a lot of times when we get into like this marketing and leadership role, we go, okay, this is what I want to build. I'm going to build it because I want it. We don't go, what do our people need? We say, I want this. I'm going to build it. We do the same thing in leadership. I want this. How do I get there? I want this. You need to do it this way. It has to be done this way. There's no other way around it, right? So like I just had a conversation the other day with somebody, and they work in a mechanic shop, so they're a mechanic, and they came to me and they're like, dude, Dan, they're telling us I got to work 10-hour days. I was like, well, that's not a big deal. You've worked 10-hour days a lot of times in your life. Like, you're a mechanic. That's part of life. Like, I work well over 10 hours a day every single day of the week. Like, I don't even argue. Well, maybe not every day of the week, but like, 8 days a week. But anyways, my point is, did you get that? Did you get that? Oh, like, yeah. See, that was quick. Anyways, my point is that like, they weren't complaining about working 10 hours. They were struggling because their leadership said, oh, you can't come in till 6 a.m. What? Right? Like, I understand having to have two people in the shop. Like, I get that. That's a whole safety thing. And I don't want to work with one person in the shop because if something falls on me, I want somebody to be able to, like, help me. Like, I get it. Okay? And so I understand that safety fact of there. Okay? My problem is like, they had 3 or 4 people that wanted to come in at, say, like 5 o'clock in the morning and put their 10 hours in and be done early. And they didn't let them do that because it didn't work with their schedule. They didn't want it to appear people were leaving at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and getting 10 hours a day. Right? That's a leadership problem. We do the same thing with marketing. And you're like, Dan, when you're marketing, you don't know when people are coming and going to work. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying we do the same thing with marketing. We get stuck in our way. It has to be done this way. This is our box. This is what we've always done. This is the way it always works. Nothing can change. It all has to fit the box. You know who wins? People who think outside the box. Apple thought outside the box. They said, hey, put a whole plethora of songs in your pocket. That was the iPod. This is not an iPod. This is actually not even an Apple phone. But anyways, he's like, Steve Jobs goes, put your whole music library in your pocket, 10,000 songs at once. Boom. Okay, done. And then they come out and they go, hey, why don't you have your whole phone in your pocket? A smartphone, not just a phone, but a phone that stores stuff on it that has a screen on it. Okay? Super smart idea, right? They thought outside the box. They didn't just stick with the norm. When we think outside the box, that's when we get successful. It's when we get successful in leadership. That's when we get successful in marketing. That's when we get successful in life. Now, you might be asking, like, Dan, this is like all jumbled up and I don't quite understand how all this works. But I want to tie it back to this. Think about how you can serve your clients and how you can serve your team. And if you do both of those, then you're going to win at both marketing and leadership. Because you have to be a leader of a team in order to be great at marketing. Because you're leading a community whenever you're marketing. Like, if you're going to get really good at marketing, you have to learn how to become the leader of that community. Now, I don't mean like you have to be in front of everybody else. I don't mean like you have to be giving and doing more than what they're doing. What I mean is you have to be willing to step up and say, hey, I'm the leader. You're going to, you can follow me to do this. I am going to do this, and this is how it's going to work for us, and you can model my success. Right? And like we talked about, a lot of times, what people need is where you were at a couple years ago. Right? And so that's part of the reason I'm so stoked. So today is the very first day we're going to go help this company. We've decided that we're going to work with one company free of charge to help get them going. And the reason we're going to do this is because we want to show that we can scale them, okay, to 9 figures. Yes, you heard that correctly. 9 figures? 7 figures? 8 figures? 8 figures? 8 figures? 8 figures. My bad. Wrong number. Too many commas, right? We want to scale them to 8 figures easily. And I know we can with just a few minor tweaks. And I know that if I can prove that I can do that, then I can charge bukus of dollars for people to learn from us because we've proven it, right? So what are we doing? We're serving a client. We're serving our team. We're growing, okay? We're becoming servants. That's what we're supposed to do. That's what the Bible tells us to do. That's what everything in life tells us to become a servant. And we just forget about it and we get selfish, okay? But we're serving them to help them grow, and we're going to scale them to 8 figures. How cool would it be to scale to over 10 million a year, right? That's 8 figures, that's 10 million a year. How cool would it be to scale to over 8 figures a year with, let's say, I think they have like 10 employees. That's awesome, right? That's so cool. And to be able to be a part of that and to have them allow us to come in and do that, how awesome is that? Like, I know we can do it, and I know that it's going to happen, and I know we're going to get them there, and it's going to be like no time at all. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that this just like happened. That's crazy. So, anyways, getting back on topic here. If you want one of these bad boys, you have to come to one of our live events. We're not shipping them to you right now. We're not doing anything like that. You got to come to a live event. And I'm going to tell you, if you come to the next live event after you watch this and we don't have them, come to me and be like, Dan, I want one, and I will figure out a way to get you one. But you got to come to me and tell me I want one in order to get one, okay? Second thing is think about how you can serve them. Don't build what you want, build what they need. Give them information. They don't just need a notebook. They need the information that I needed a year ago, that I needed 5 years ago, that I needed 10 years ago, right? They don't want what I need today because I'm in a different place. But in 2 or 3 years, they're going to want what I need today. Does that make sense? So like whenever we're marketing, whenever we're doing teamwork, we need to just go back a couple years. Where were we at 4 or 5 years ago? And that's how we market to them. That's exactly it. That's exactly what we do. Leadership's the same way. When you're leading your team, you got to market to your team as well, right? So like, what did I need whenever I was in their position? So the best way I can explain it is it's kind of like a mountain, right? Like, I don't know. Let me see. I might have a pin here. Hold on. My whiteboard's a disaster. So it's kind of like a mountain. Okay? And what happens is like we climb the mountain, right? We go up the mountain, and it's all kinds of ups and downs. And we're up here. This is like us, okay? I know. That's a great dude. He's awesome. I'm such a good drawer. Don't pay attention to the writing, okay? Anyways, and then all these other people, like everybody we're serving is like down here, and they're like, oh, how do I get up here? They go, how do I get to this area? How do I get up here? What does it take to get up here? You're up here, and I want to be up here. How do you get up here? Because they're like, oh, he's so happy, right? They don't see anything else other than the happiness. Okay, so they want to know how you get up here. And the way they get up here is this. We come back down the mountain, okay? And then we give them a hand up. We help them because we've already been here. We help them get up here to where we are. And that's truth. That's service. That's how it works. We come back down the mountain and we give them a rope. We give them a lifeline. We give them a hand up. We give them the advice because our path looks like this, right? Like when we get our path, it looks like this. It's not pretty. It's all ups and downs, and it's hard, and it's like crawls, and right. There's times that we're creeping, but if we can get rid of that, right, and just help them go straight up, that's when we create success, right? Success leaves clues. That comes straight from Tony Robbins. So model people who are successful. Don't just like try to blaze away yourself. Try to model people who are successful. So there was like a ton of gold in this. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. We're going to get out of here. I do want to say this, right? Like, super stoked that you guys are here. If you liked this, leave us a review, subscribe to it, catch some more. I got to talk to somebody the other day. They're like, dude, Dan, my daughter listens to your podcast. Or like, no, actually, she goes, Dan, my daughter won't listen to your podcast because you don't talk about country artists. So here goes. I'm going to mention a country artist just for you. Okay, Robin? So like, let your daughter know that I'm going to say like Eric Church is a phenomenal country artist, and I love a ton of his songs, and like totally at one of my events someday, he's going to be speaking at it. I'm just telling you that right out. That's like Babe Ruth calling my shot, right? He's going to go over there. I'm just saying, like, we're going to have him like performing at one of our events at some point in my life. So you're going to want to like start coming to my events, okay? Number 2, because you don't know, he could show up at like Montrose or Durango or Silverton or San Diego or Orlando or Montana or Boise, Idaho or wherever we're at. You're just going to have to come to all of them. That way you know when he's there, right? Just call my shot. Make sure it's out there. Okay. Anyways, I'm kidding. Not really, but kidding. Okay. So my next point is that, like, if you like this, like, give us a like, subscribe, let other people know, share about it. I do want to encourage you to share it because guess what? If you don't share it, nobody else gets to learn about us. And like, this is just getting started. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. So if you don't like it, what the heck are you doing? Listen to this. Get the heck out of here. Don't leave us a bad, like, I can't say don't leave us a bad review. I would give bad criticism. But, like, if you don't like it, why are you wasting your time? Just don't bother with it. Just ignore us and move on. It's okay. Anyways, we'll see you guys soon. Talk to you later. Bye.